repair clinic. I just received 2 iPods. No idea what's wrong with them. Client didn't leave me a note, but I'm gonna just assume that it's a battery issue, but right away I can see that we have a depressed center button on the video. So we're gonna take care of that while we're inside. I'm gonna start with opening up the iPod like I always do. I go ahead and insert a small screwdriver into the corner, work my way around with my spudgers, not coming anywhere near the LCD. I'm going to open this. All right, let's take a look what we got here. Okay, this has never been opened. I can see right away it's an original battery. I have no idea what else is wrong with this, but I'm going to assume that it's the battery. So I'm going to go ahead and lift up the battery on the right side. Not too high because I don't want to break the cable that runs to the hold button. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to insert the battery in place. I expose about half the adhesive because I don't want any adhesive going anywhere near the hold switch flex. And that should be it. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the face. Keep everything close. This is a very common problem right here. Headphone jack, the center button gets a little depressed. This one seems to be okay. What I typically do is try to reposition the bumper back to the center, but I don't think that's going to be enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small adhesive backed piece of rubber, and I got this from the LCDs. When you buy new LCDs, they always use this as a protective material. So I make a second use out of it, and I just laminate it to the back of the button right here so that I have an extra bit of bumper. This one's not good. We cut another piece. That one wasn't very cooperative. You just make a little square. You don't need much more than that. Sometimes you use a hole puncher, but this one is just fine. There we go. And put it to the back of that. That should bring up the button so it's flush. Seems to be very clean. Yep. This particular LCD has some lines running through it, which is very common when the battery gets bloated. Puts pressure on the back of the LCD and it messes it up. So what I'm going to do now is just test to make sure it's all working. I just press it in very gently with my fingernail, and here we see it's waking up. Let's see if the hard drive's any good. I can hear it clicking nicely, and you can see the lines running across the top. That's cosmetic damage. If it really bothers the client, I'm very happy to change that, but it's not necessary. Okay, and that seems to that seems to be it. Let me go ahead and turn it off. Hold the play button down. Sometimes it doesn't cooperate. There we go. All right, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and put the screws back, clip it closed, and move on to the next. And that's it. Cut. That's it, you can cut it. All right, I need to get some extra screws here. Oh, move that away from me. Also noticed that the bezel had a broken piece in it, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that back. Let me take a couple screws out of this. Need a couple screws. Get away from me. Try to put back all the screws. I keep spare parts on hand so I can use them for parts. Okay. This particular one, it's missing a piece of the frame. Let me see if I have an extra one. As I do, I keep them pretty handy. So you see, they call them the bezel or whatever you want to call them. I'm just going to take one that I have on hand and use that. Sometimes I can try to crazy glue it together, but it doesn't always work. And again, it's really important to have a bezel because this is what directs the charge plug. I don't want to break this, so I'm going to take this off for a sec. That was the headphone jack ribbon cable. All right, so as you see, this one's slightly broken. And there was the missing piece right there. So I don't want to mess with that. I'll just put another one in there. That way I'm assured that this is a proper repair. Some screw I'm missing. All right, so we're going to move on now to the classic. I have no idea what's wrong with it. It's never been upgraded, so it's probably just the regular mechanical hard drive. Neither of these have been upgraded or updated, whatever you want to call it. All right, so I know this puppy works. Put that in there. Clip it closed. Turn it on. There we go. All right, let's move on. Let me get rid of these. All right. Same idea. Expose a corner. Punch down the clips. Work your way around. Punch down the clips. And start trying to see if you can dislodge the other side. There we go. All right. This guy has been upgraded with a battery. Don't know when, but I don't trust it. So set it aside. Yeah. Whoever put in the hard drive rubbers wasn't very careful. It's all smashed. So let's see if I have any. Sometimes I keep them as spares, but look, I do have some spares. Okay, got it. All right, go ahead and just take that guy off of there and just cut it to length. So we're good here. Okay, let's try putting in the new battery and let's test the hard drive to see if it's working. Big problem with hard drives is they fail. All hard drives will fail eventually. I've been told that by many Apple people because it's just a bunch of mechanisms and gears and yeah. All right, let's take a look here. Let's make sure that the hard drive is planted in nicely. And here we go. Take your spudger and kind of make sure that everything goes in nicely, nice and flat. Okay, don't go too deep or else you're going to break components off the board. All right, let's see this puppy. This one wakes up immediately. Let me listen. Sounds good. So if all it is just the battery, that's wonderful. Very inexpensive repair. All right. Oh, this one comes to iTunes. That means the hard drive has failed. Very unlikely a hard drive goes to that screen. I typically call this Alzheimer's when it does this, and that typically needs a new storage device, whether it's another hard drive or I upgrade them to an iFlash with about 128 gigabytes. But in order to do that, I will have to call the client and get approval. All right, I don't know if the battery is bad in this case. I think it's probably okay. So I'm gonna just assume that it was the hard drive to begin with. So I'm gonna leave that battery alone and put it back. Put it back where it came from, in one of these nice cases. All right, well, I gotta call the client right now and find out if he's approving a new storage device. And like I said, I recommend a flash. I do not recommend mechanical hard drives unless cost is an issue. All right, thank you very much for watching another one of my repair videos, and I look forward to see you at the next one.